The morning mist clung to the ancient stones of St. Augustine's Cathedral like whispered prayers, each molecule of vapor carrying the collective breath of centuries who had knelt in this sacred space before the dawn of this most pivotal day. The cathedral itself seemed to pulse with anticipation, its Gothic spires reaching toward heaven as if yearning to embrace the divine convergence that would soon unfold within its hallowed walls. Within the sanctuary, where the very air shimmered with the residue of countless blessings and the weight of unspoken supplications, the altar stood in reverent dongdai, its polished marble surface reflecting the first rays of sunlight that would soon pierce through the stained glass windows in a kaleidoscope of holy colors. The faithful began to arrive in small groups, their footsteps echoing softly against the stone floor like the gentle tapping of prayer beads against a wooden rosary. Each soul carried within them the burden and blessing of their chosen path, their hearts heavy with the weight of divine calling and light with the promise of consecration. The elderly priest, Father Michael, whose silver hair caught the morning light like scattered stars, moved with the measured grace of one who had spent decades walking the narrow path between the earthly and celestial realms. His hands, weathered by years of blessing and healing, trembled slightly as he prepared the sacred vessels that would hold the essence of the new month's spiritual awakening. In the back pew, Maria Santos pressed her palm against the cold stone, feeling the ancient energy that had sustained pilgrims for generations. Her heart, once heavy with doubt and fear, now beat in rhythm with the cathedral's own heartbeat, each pulse a reminder that she was not alone in this sacred journey. The weight of her calling, so recently revealed in a dream that had shaken her entire world, pressed upon her chest like a mantle of responsibility that she had never asked to bear but could not possibly refuse. The organ began its slow ascent, each note building like a prayer that had been waiting centuries to be sung aloud. The music rose and fell like the tide of divine mercy washing over the assembled congregation with the power to transform even the most hardened hearts. Through the great doors came the young man who had been chosen to carry the flame of the new month's consecration, a youth whose eyes held the wisdom of ages and whose presence seemed to make the very air around him shimmer with possibility. As the first rays of sunlight pierced through the eastern windows, illuminating the altar in golden light, the congregation fell silent. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, suspended in the moment between the ordinary and the sacred. The altar candles flickered to life, their flames dancing like tiny prayers that would soon become the torches of divine purpose. In that perfect instant, when time seemed to stand still and eternity pressed against the veil between worlds, the chosen ones felt themselves being drawn into the very heart of creation itself. The final preparation had begun, and with it, the transformation that would reshape not only their individual souls, but the very fabric of the spiritual realm itself. Each heartbeat, each breath, each carefully placed footstep was part of a greater design, a cosmic dance that had been choreographed since the first moment of divine consciousness stirred in the void. The month of consecration was about to begin, and those who had been chosen to walk its sacred path would discover that they were not merely witnesses to the divine drama unfolding around them, but active participants in a story that would echo through eternity itself. The cathedral held its breath, and in that silence, the universe itself seemed to lean forward, eager to witness what was about to unfold. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chosen ones' hearts, a beacon that pierces through the darkness of doubt and despair that has plagued humanity for generations. Each soul selected for this divine calling carries the weight of destiny upon their shoulders, yet they are not alone in their burden. The Almighty has woven them together with threads of silver light, binding their spirits in an unbreakable covenant that transcends mortal understanding. As the moon reaches its zenith and the stars align in perfect harmony, the chosen ones gather in the sanctum, where ancient prayers echo through the corridors of time. Their faces, illuminated by the ethereal glow of consecrated candles, reflect the profound responsibility that has been entrusted to them. These are not merely mortals chosen by chance or circumstance, but beings whose very essence has been refined through trials that would break lesser souls. The High Priestess speaks in a voice that seems to emanate from the very heart of creation itself, her words carrying the authority of ages past and the promise of futures yet unwritten. You have been called not for your perfection, but for your willingness to embrace the imperfect journey that lies before you. Her eyes, deep as the ocean's abyss, hold the wisdom of countless generations who have walked this same path before them. Each chosen one feels the familiar sensation of their spirit being awakened, like a dormant flower finally blooming in the spring's first warmth. The process is both beautiful and terrifying, for it requires the complete surrender of one's will to the greater purpose. The individual ego must be transformed into something greater than itself, like water that flows into the vastness of the sea. The preparation for this final consecration involves more than ritualistic ceremonies or elaborate ceremonies. It is a complete transformation of consciousness, a reordering of priorities that places the welfare of all creation above personal desires and ambitions. The chosen ones understand that their mission is not about power or recognition, but about service to the divine plan that governs all existence. In the quiet moments between breath and prayer, each soul experiences a profound revelation of their connection to the universal consciousness. They see themselves not as separate entities, but as living threads in the tapestry of existence, each strand essential to the completeness of the whole. The pain of separation that humans feel so acutely becomes understood as a necessary illusion, a temporary state that will ultimately give way to the recognition of their true nature as expressions of the divine itself. The sacred space fills with an energy that seems to vibrate at frequencies beyond human comprehension, a symphony of spiritual forces that harmonize with the pulsing rhythm of the earth itself. Here in this hallowed ground, where ancient mysteries have been preserved and protected for millennia, the chosen ones prepare themselves for the monumental task that awaits them. Their hearts beat in unison with the heartbeat of the cosmos, their breath synchronized with the rhythm of creation itself. The final consecration will mark the beginning of their true mission, a sacred duty that will test every fiber of their being and transform them into vessels of divine purpose. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the chosen ones' hearts, a divine fire that has been kindled not by human hands but by the very breath of heaven itself. As the moon reaches its zenith in this most holy of months, the ancient prophecies begin to whisper their secrets through the corridors of time, speaking of a convergence that has been foretold since the first dawn of creation. The preparation of spirits has already begun, for the consecration that awaits is not merely a ritual of ceremony, but a profound transformation that will reshape the very essence of those who have been called to walk the narrow path of divine purpose. Each heart that beats with the rhythm of the chosen ones pulses with an otherworldly resonance, echoing the sacred symphony that governs the cosmos itself. The veil between mortal realm and celestial domain grows thin as the appointed hour approaches and the angels of light begin to gather in formation around the threshold of destiny. Their presence is felt not in sight, but in the profound silence that precedes revelation, in the way the air itself seems to hold its breath in reverence for what is to come. The spiritual mission that has been entrusted to these select souls carries the weight of ages, a burden of grace that must be borne with unwavering devotion. They are not merely witnesses to the unfolding drama of salvation, but active participants in the grand theater of divine providence. Every breath they draw becomes a prayer, every heartbeat a testament to their commitment to the higher calling that transcends all earthly concerns. In the sanctity of their meditation, they commune with the ineffable presence that dwells beyond the boundaries of ordinary perception. The Lord speaks in whispers of wind and the rustling of leaves and the gentle stirring of morning mist, and the deep rumble of thunder that announces the approach of the Almighty's will. These chosen ones have learned to listen beyond the cacophony of worldly noise, to hear the voice of truth that calls them forward into the light of their appointed destiny. The preparation extends far beyond mere ritual observance. It encompasses the complete surrender of self to the divine will. Each soul must undergo a purification that strips away the dross of ego and attachment, leaving only the pure gold of authentic faith. This process of spiritual refinement is both agonizing and glorious, for it requires the willing abandonment of personal desires in exchange for the greater good of the divine plan. As the sacred month unfolds, the chosen ones find themselves drawn deeper into the mystery of their calling, their hearts expanding like lotus flowers opening to receive the morning sun. The spiritual mission that awaits them demands nothing less than their entire being, yet they offer it freely, knowing that in giving themselves completely to the Lord's service, they discover the true meaning of existence itself. The final consecration will mark not an end, but a beginning, the moment when their earthly journey transforms into an eternal dance of communion with the Most High. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of consecration, its amber glow weaving through the ancient tapestries that have witnessed countless generations of chosen souls. Here, where the veil between mortal realm and divine consciousness grows thin as morning mist, the heart of the faithful must prepare itself for the profound transformation that awaits. The air itself seems to vibrate with the weight of prophecy, each breath drawn in reverence, carrying the essence of prayers whispered across centuries, each exhale releasing the burdens of doubt that have clouded the soul's journey toward illumination. In this hallowed sanctuary, where the very stones remember the footsteps of saints who walk before us, the chosen ones gather not merely as individuals, but as vessels of divine purpose. Their hearts beat in rhythm with the cosmic pulse that governs the destiny of nations, their spirits attuned to the frequency of celestial intervention that will soon manifest upon the earth. The preparation is not merely ceremonial, it is the sacred alchemy of purification that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the temporal into the eternal. Each participant must strip away the layers of self that have accumulated like sediment in the deepest rivers of consciousness. The ego, that treacherous shadow that whispers of personal glory and earthly ambition, must be surrendered to the fire of divine surrender. This is not a rejection of individuality, but a transcendence of it, a recognition that true power flows not from the self, but from the infinite source that connects all beings in the grand tapestry of existence. The chosen ones understand that their mission is not to claim dominion over others, but to serve as conduits for the healing and awakening that the world desperately needs. As the sacred hour approaches, the atmosphere grows thick with anticipation and the promise of revelation. The walls seem to breathe with the collective yearning of those who have dedicated their lives to service their prayers, forming a cathedral of sound that reaches beyond the boundaries of physical space. In this moment, the chosen ones become living prayers, their very presence a testament to the reality that divinity walks among mortals when hearts are properly aligned with the will of the cosmos. The final consecration requires complete vulnerability, an acknowledgement that the path ahead demands everything, time, energy, sacrifice, and ultimately the willingness to surrender even the most precious aspects of one's identity. The spiritual mission that awaits them is not a burden, but a calling that has been woven into the fabric of their being since the moment of their inception in divine purpose. They are the living bridge between heaven and earth, the instruments through which the divine plan unfolds in ways both subtle and spectacular. The preparation continues, each breath a prayer, each heartbeat a confirmation of readiness to embrace whatever trials and triumphs lie ahead in service to the greater good. The sacred flame burns eternal in the heart of those who have been chosen. their souls woven into the tapestry of divine purpose with threads of gold that shimmer even in the deepest darkness. As the moon wanes toward its final crescent, casting silver shadows across the ancient stones where prayers have echoed for centuries, the chosen ones prepare themselves for the consecration that will transform them from mere mortals into vessels of celestial light. In this hallowed hour, when the veil between worlds grows thin as morning mist, each soul must strip away the illusions that have bound them to earthly concerns. The weight of their calling presses upon their chests like a crown of thorns. Yet it is not a burden, but a blessing, for they are being prepared to carry the sacred burden of salvation itself. The Lord's voice speaks not in thunderous proclamation, but in whispered secrets that only the pure of heart can hear, guiding them through the labyrinthine corridors of their own souls toward the threshold of transcendence. Their preparation is both brutal and beautiful, a purification that consumes the dross of their former existence while refining the precious metal of their spirit. Every thought that has wandered from the path of righteousness must be examined. Every desire that has strayed from the divine will must be confessed and released. The sacred fire burns within them, consuming attachments to material wealth, to the approval of men, to the comfort of familiar patterns that have kept them small and safe in the shadow of their own limitations. The chosen ones understand that this consecration is not merely a ceremony, but a resurrection, a death to self, and rebirth in the image of the Almighty. Their bodies become temples where the Holy Spirit may dwell. Their minds cleared of the clutter that has obscured their vision of truth. Their hearts opened wide enough to receive the fullness of divine love that flows like rivers of mercy through the valleys of human suffering. As the night deepens and the stars wheel overhead in their eternal dance, these blessed souls begin to feel the pull of something greater than themselves. The very air around them seems to shimmer with holy presence, and they know that their transformation is not merely personal, but cosmic in scope. They are becoming living monuments to the power of grace, walking examples of what happens when mortal flesh becomes willing soil for the planting of divine seeds. The preparation continues through the sacred hours, each moment a prayer offered to the Father, each breath a gift to the Son, each heartbeat a testament to the sanctifying work of the Holy Spirit. They stand at the precipice of a new understanding, where the boundaries between their individual destinies and the collective journey of humanity dissolve like morning dew before the rising sun. The final consecration awaits not as a reward, but as the beginning of their truest service to illuminate the darkness that still shrouds the world, to offer healing to the brokenhearted, to bring hope to those who have lost all hope in the crucible of their own suffering. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the chosen ones' hearts, a divine fire that has been kindled by the very breath of heaven itself. As the final preparations unfold in this hallowed sanctuary where ancient stones whisper secrets of prophecy and ancient prayers echo through marble corridors, each soul stands at the precipice of their destined calling. The air itself seems to shimmer with holy purpose, as if the very atmosphere recognizes the weight of what is about to transpire. In the dim light of oil-laden candles, their faces bear the marks of countless trials endured in service to the divine will. Each scar tells a story of sacrifice, each tear a testament to the profound love that binds them to their sacred mission. The chosen ones gather in perfect harmony, their individual destinies weaving together like threads in an intricate tapestry of salvation. Their collective spirit rises like incense toward the heavens, carrying with it the hopes and prayers of nations yet unborn. The high priestess stands at the center of the sacred circle, her voice trembling with reverence as she speaks the ancient words that have been passed down through generations of faithful servants. Her lips move in whispered prayer, each syllable a bridge between the mortal realm and the celestial kingdom that awaits those who walk the narrow path of divine service. The words she utters are not mere language, but living scripture, breathing life into the very fabric of existence itself. As the ceremony progresses, the temperature in the chamber drops dramatically, yet no one feels the cold. Instead, a warmth emanates from within their souls, a radiance that cannot be extinguished by earthly forces. This is the gift of consecration, the transformation of mortal flesh into vessels worthy of divine communication. The chosen ones begin to understand that their mission extends far beyond personal enlightenment. They are called to be instruments of healing, teachers of truth, and guardians of the sacred mysteries that govern the universe. The walls of the sanctuary seem to pulse with the rhythm of their collective heartbeat, creating a symphony of spiritual energy that resonates throughout the entire structure. Dust motes dance in shafts of light that pierce through the darkness, each particle seeming to carry a fragment of divine wisdom. The chosen ones feel themselves becoming conduits for something greater than themselves, a cosmic force that has been waiting patiently for their awakening. Their eyes, once clouded by doubt and uncertainty, now gleam with the clarity of those who have seen the face of God. In this moment of perfect alignment between their mortal desires and their heavenly calling, they comprehend that their sacrifice is not an ending, but a beginning. They are being prepared to walk among the lost and forgotten, to offer comfort to the grieving, to illuminate the path for those who wander in darkness. The consecration ritual reaches its crescendo as golden light spills from the ceiling, bathing each chosen one in its resplendent glow. This is not merely illumination, it is the manifestation of divine approval, a seal upon their commitment to serve with unwavering dedication. Their spirits soar as they feel the presence of angels around them, their wings beating in harmonious resonance with their own hearts. The mission ahead becomes crystal clear: to carry the light of hope into the world's darkest corners, to be living examples of divine love in action, and to ensure that no soul shall ever walk alone in their journey toward salvation. The sacred bond between these chosen ones grows stronger with each passing moment, their individual strengths merging into a unified force capable of moving mountains and changing hearts. They are no longer merely human beings touched by divine grace. They are vessels of celestial purpose, ready to fulfill their destiny in the new month that awaits them. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the chosen ones, a luminescent beacon that pierces through the veil of mortal understanding and illuminates the path toward divine convergence. In this hallowed space where ancient prayers echo through crystalline corridors, and the very air shimmers with the weight of prophetic destiny, the faithful gather not merely as observers, but as willing participants in the grand tapestry of celestial orchestration. Each soul present carries within their bosom the sacred mark of selection, an invisible sigil that pulses with the rhythm of cosmic harmony, resonating with the heartbeat of creation itself. The preparation that unfolds before them transcends mere ritualistic observance. It becomes a metamorphosis of spirit, a purification that strips away the ephemeral veils of earthly concern to reveal the pristine essence of divine calling. The chosen ones understand that they are not simply witnesses to history's turning point, but architects of its most profound transformation. As the first light of dawn breaks through the obsidian windows of the sanctum, casting dancing shadows across the consecrated ground, the collective energy of the assembly begins to coalesce into something greater than the sum of its parts. The air itself seems to vibrate with anticipation, pregnant with the promise of revelation that will soon unfold. Each participant feels the weight of their individual journey converging with the universal consciousness, their personal struggles and triumphs becoming threads in the magnificent mosaic of divine purpose. The spiritual mission that awaits these selected vessels is not one of conquest or dominion, but of service, of becoming living channels through which the ineffable grace of the Almighty flows into a world that has forgotten its connection to the source of all being. They are called not to claim power for themselves, but to surrender their will completely to the higher design that orchestrates the symphony of existence. In this moment of perfect stillness, before the great work begins, the chosen ones experience what mystics throughout history have described as the profound silence that precedes divine manifestation. It is a sacred pause between heartbeats, a breath held in reverence, before the thunderous declaration that will reshape reality itself. Their hearts, once beating with the rhythm of ordinary human concerns, now synchronize with the eternal pulse that governs galaxies and whispers in the spaces between atoms. The preparation extends beyond physical readiness to encompass the complete transformation of consciousness, the alchemical process by which mortal minds become vessels capable of containing divine truth without being consumed by its radiance. This is not a task for the faint of heart, nor for those who seek glory or recognition. It requires the deepest commitment to spiritual purity, the willingness to embrace suffering as a necessary pathway to illumination, and the courage to stand firm against the tide of worldly distractions that would pull the soul from its appointed course. As the final preparations reach their crescendo, the chosen ones understand that they are not merely preparing for a month of spiritual engagement. They are entering into an eternal covenant with the Divine One that will unfold across the temporal landscape of their lives in ways both subtle and profound, visible and hidden, immediate and lasting. The new month that approaches holds within its calendar pages the promise of transformation that will reverberate through generations, yet unborn, touching souls in ways that transcend the boundaries of time and space. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chosen one's hearts, a divine spark that has been kindled by the Almighty's own hand. As the moon reaches its zenith in this hallowed month of consecration, the very air itself seems to shimmer with holy purpose, as if the heavens themselves are preparing to deliver their most profound revelation yet. The chosen ones stand at the precipice of transformation, their souls already beginning to resonate with the cosmic frequencies that govern the universe's deepest mysteries. Each heart beats in rhythm with the ancient drums of creation, each breath drawn a sacred offering to the divine presence that surrounds them like an invisible canopy of light. The weight of destiny presses upon their shoulders, not as a burden, but as a mantle of pure grace, for they have been selected not by chance or circumstance, but by the very will of heaven itself. Their calling transcends the mundane boundaries of ordinary existence, drawing them into the sacred theater where mortal and immortal realms converge in perfect harmony. The preparation that precedes this momentous occasion demands nothing less than complete surrender to the divine will. Every thought, every desire, every shadow that has ever danced across the landscape of their souls must be offered up as incense before the throne of grace. This is no mere ritual of ceremony, but a profound spiritual alchemy that transforms the very essence of who they are, turning base metals into gold through the fire of purification. As they gather in the sanctified space where the veil between worlds grows thin, the chosen ones feel the presence of countless generations who have walked this path before them, their spirits forming an unbroken chain that spans the centuries. The echoes of their prayers and sacrifices reverberate through time itself, creating a symphony of faith that can only be described as the heartbeat of eternity. Each individual's journey, though unique, contributes to the greater tapestry of divine purpose that unfolds before them like a scroll written in celestial ink. The sacred geometry of their spiritual mission begins to manifest in tangible ways. Miracles that seem to defy natural law, insights that pierce through the veil of ignorance, and a profound understanding of their role in the grand narrative of salvation that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. They are not merely witnesses to this divine drama, but active participants whose choices and actions will echo through the ages, shaping the very fabric of reality according to the principles of love, justice, and infinite mercy. In this sacred hour, when the boundaries between past, present, and future dissolve into a single luminous moment, the chosen ones understand that their consecration is not an end, but rather the beginning of their truest calling. Their mission to become living vessels of the divine light, instruments through which God's will is made manifest in the world. The world watches the heavens weep, and the earth itself trembles with anticipation as these blessed souls prepare to step forward into their appointed destiny, carrying with them the hopes and prayers of all humanity. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the heart, where the chosen ones gather in trembling reverence before the great mystery that unfolds like a tapestry of divine purpose. Each soul stands at the threshold of transformation, their spirits already beginning to resonate with the ancient harmonies that have been sung since the first breath of creation. The air itself seems to hold its breath in anticipation, heavy with the weight of destiny and the promise of resurrection. Here in this sanctified space where mortal flesh meets immortal calling, the chosen ones prepare themselves not merely for service, but for surrender to a higher will that transcends their individual desires and fears. The altar before them glows with an inner light that speaks not of human achievement, but of divine election, each candle flickering like a prayer offered up to the heavens. The walls seem to pulse with the rhythm of cosmic consciousness, and the very stones beneath their feet hum with the memory of countless prayers offered by those who came before. The spiritual mission that awaits them is not one of conquest or dominion, but of gentle healing and profound revelation. Like vessels of crystal filled with the purest water, they must become conduits for the healing balm that flows from the heart of the divine. Their hands, once devoted to personal ambition and earthly concerns, shall now be instruments of mercy, their voices transformed into instruments of truth that can pierce through the darkness of confusion and despair that shrouds the world. In this sacred preparation, they must learn to quiet the tempest of their own ego, to let go of the need to control or manipulate the unfolding of events. For the true chosen ones understand that their mission is not about asserting their own will upon the world, but rather about becoming willing participants in a greater dance that has been choreographed by forces beyond human comprehension. The spiritual warfare they face is not against external enemies, but against the subtle deceits of the spirit, the lies that whisper that they are unworthy, that their gifts are insufficient, that their calling is too great for mortal hearts to bear. The consecration process demands complete vulnerability, an opening of the soul to receive the fullness of divine grace. Each chosen one must strip away the layers of pretense and self-deception that have accumulated over years of living in a world that often rewards conformity over courage. They must embrace the paradox of strength found in weakness of wisdom, born from humility of power that comes through service rather than domination. The spiritual armor they wear is not forged of steel, but of love, patience, and the unshakable conviction that every soul carries within it the spark of divinity that cannot be extinguished. As the hours pass in this sacred observance, the chosen ones begin to understand that their mission extends far beyond any single act or deed. They are called to embody a new way of being in the world, a way that recognizes the sacred nature of all existence and the inherent dignity of every human being. In their daily lives, they will become living testimonies to the possibility of redemption, bridges between the broken and the whole healers of wounds that have festered for generations. The spiritual revolution they represent is not one of violence or upheaval, but of quiet transformation that spreads like ripples across the surface of reality, touching everything it touches with the healing presence of the divine. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the heart, where ancient prayers whisper secrets to the divine ear. In this hallowed space between the material world and the realm of pure spirit, the chosen ones gather not as mere mortals, but as vessels commissioned by celestial hands to carry forth the sacred mission that has been ordained since the dawn of creation itself. Each soul stands at the threshold of transformation, their very essence trembling with anticipation as they prepare to receive the final consecration that will seal their destiny. The air itself seems to hold its breath in reverence, heavy with the weight of divine purpose that flows through the corridors of time like a river of golden light. Here, where shadows retreat before the advancing sun of enlightenment, the chosen ones must surrender every vestige of self-will to make way for the Almighty's perfect design. The preparation is both gentle and fierce, like the careful nurturing of a newborn soul that must be strengthened for the trials yet to come. Each initiate undergoes a purification that transcends the physical realm, their spirits being cleansed by the waters of remembrance and the fire of divine love. The sacred texts speak of this process in terms that seem almost too profound for mortal understanding. The washing away of earthly attachments, the dissolution of personal desires into the ocean of cosmic purpose. As the chosen ones stand in silent communion with their inner sanctum, they begin to feel the subtle vibrations of their calling resonate through every fiber of their being. The voice that speaks to them is not heard with physical ears, but felt deep within the chambers of the heart, a whisper that carries the authority of ages and the tenderness of a mother's kiss. This voice speaks of sacrifice, of service, of the profound beauty found in selfless dedication to a greater good. The spiritual mission that awaits them is not one of conquest or dominion, but of healing and restoration, a calling to mend the broken fabric of human experience and to illuminate the paths that lead back to divine consciousness. They are to become living bridges between the fallen world and the realm of perfection, carrying messages of hope and redemption to those who have lost their way in the labyrinth of material existence. In this sacred preparation, the chosen ones discover that their true strength lies not in their individual power, but in their willingness to become instruments of grace, vessels through which the infinite love of the divine can flow unimpeded into a world that desperately needs to remember its connection to the source from which all life emanates. The final consecration approaches like a storm of light, promising both challenge and glory, both the crucible of testing and the crown of divine favor. The sacred flame within her chest began to pulse with an intensity that made her breath catch in her throat, as if the very essence of divine purpose was awakening from its ancient slumber. Sister Margaret's hands trembled slightly as she held the consecrated chalice, its surface reflecting the amber glow of the candles that surrounded the altar like sentinels of light. The air itself seemed to shimmer with holy presence, thick with the scent of rose petals and incense, each molecule carrying the prayers of countless souls who had sought solace in this hallowed space. She closed her eyes and felt the weight of centuries pressing upon her shoulders, the collective burden of those who had walked this path before her, their footsteps echoing through the corridors of time like whispered promises. The chosen ones, as they were called, bore a sacred responsibility that transcended mortal understanding. They were not merely servants of faith, but vessels through which the divine would manifest itself in the world, bringing healing, where there was brokenness, hope, where there was despair, and light where darkness reigned supreme. The ritual had begun at dawn when the first rays of sunlight pierced through the monastery's ancient stained glass windows, casting rainbow patterns across the stone floor that had witnessed generations of spiritual seekers. Each candle was lit with deliberate care, following a tradition that stretched back through the centuries, each flame representing a soul whose life had been touched by grace. The incense burned steadily, releasing its fragrant offerings into the air, creating a sacred atmosphere that seemed to draw the very heavens closer to earth. Margaret felt the familiar sensation of being called, of being pulled towards something greater than herself. It was a feeling that had accompanied her since childhood, when she first understood that her life was not hers alone to live, but rather a gift to be offered in service to the divine will. The weight of this calling pressed upon her heart like a warm, comforting embrace, yet simultaneously filled her with a profound sense of humility and awe. As she raised the chalice above her head, the golden liquid inside began to swirl with an inner fire that seemed to mirror the fire burning within her own spirit. This was no ordinary consecration. It was the final sealing of a sacred pact between heaven and earth, between the realm of the divine in the world of human experience. The chosen ones would carry this sacred charge into the coming month, when the veil between worlds would grow thin and the opportunity for miraculous intervention would present itself once more. The words of the ancient prayer began to form in her mind, each syllable resonating with the power of centuries of faith and devotion. She could feel the presence of her fellow chosen ones scattered across the globe like stars in the night sky, each one connected by invisible threads of spiritual purpose. Their hearts beat in rhythm with hers, their prayers weaving together into a tapestry of intercession that reached toward the throne of God Himself. The moment of consecration approached like a gentle wave washing over her consciousness with the force of pure divine love. In that sacred instant, she understood that her mission extended far beyond the walls of this monastery or even the boundaries of her own nation. She was part of a vast network of spiritual warriors, each one bearing a unique gift and purpose that would contribute to the greater good of all humanity. The new month would bring challenges that would test their resolve, trials that would reveal the depth of their commitment to the sacred work they had been called to perform. As the final candle was lit, marking the completion of the rite, Margaret felt the transformation begin. Her spirit was no longer her own, but rather a vessel through which the infinite love of the divine would flow into a world that desperately needed healing. The chosen ones had been prepared, their hearts cleansed, their minds focused, their spirits strengthened for the journey ahead. The sacred work of salvation would continue each day, bringing new opportunities to touch lives and change hearts through the power of divine grace. The sacred flame burns eternal in the heart of the chosen ones, its amber glow reflecting against the weathered stones of the ancient temple where the final consecration shall unfold. Each heartbeat echoes through the hallowed halls, a rhythmic prayer that has been beating since the first dawn of their calling. The air itself seems to hold its breath, pregnant with the weight of destiny, as if the very atmosphere recognizes the approaching moment when mortal flesh shall be transformed into vessels of divine purpose. In the hours preceding this holy convergence, the faithful gather like scattered leaves caught in the wind of prophecy, each soul carrying the burden and blessing of their unique calling. Their faces bear the marks of countless trials, yet in their eyes burns an unshakable light that speaks of communion with the Almighty's will. The chosen ones know that they stand at the threshold of something greater than themselves, something that transcends the boundaries of individual existence and merges them into a tapestry of cosmic significance. The preparation is not merely ritualistic, but deeply personal. A journey inward where every shadow of doubt is illuminated by the pure radiance of faith. They fast not just from food, but from the distractions of earthly concerns, stripping away the veneer of material existence to reveal the sacred core that beats within each breast. The silence becomes their teacher, the darkness their companion, and the solitude their sanctuary, where the voice of God speaks most clearly above the cacophony of a world that often forgets its creator. As the appointed hour approaches, the chosen ones understand that their consecration is not merely a ceremony, but a rebirth, a transformation that will reshape their very essence. They have walked the path of sacrifice, bearing witness to suffering and finding meaning in pain, learning that true holiness emerges not from comfort, but from the willingness to embrace the cross of service. Their hearts have been purified by fire, their spirits refined by the crucible of trials, and now they stand ready to receive the fullness of their divine commission. The final consecration will mark the completion of their journey from ordinary mortals to instruments of celestial grace, their bodies becoming living temples where the Holy Spirit dwells in perfect harmony with human will. This is not a moment of triumph, but of surrender, of complete yielding to the divine plan that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. The chosen ones understand that their mission extends beyond their own salvation to encompass the redemption of all creation, their lives becoming threads in the grand design that seeks to restore the broken relationship between heaven and earth. In this sacred space where centuries of prayer have echoed and thousands of tears have fallen, the chosen ones prepare to offer themselves completely to the work that awaits them. The weight of responsibility settles upon their shoulders like a mantle of light, for they are called to be the bridges between the divine and the human, the voices that speak truth to a world lost in darkness, the hands that heal where there is brokenness, the hearts that love where there is hatred, the hope that rises where despair has taken root. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the chosen ones, their hearts beating in rhythm with the ancient pulse that has guided humanity since the first dawn of consciousness. Each breath they draw becomes a prayer, each heartbeat a testament to the divine calling that has shaped their very essence. The final consecration approaches like a gentle storm, both terrifying and beautiful, demanding complete surrender while offering ultimate liberation. In the hallowed halls where shadows dance with light, the chosen ones gather not as individuals, but as living prayers woven together by threads of celestial purpose. Their spirits, once scattered like autumn leaves, now converge toward a single luminous point, their collective destiny waiting to be birthed into reality. The air itself seems to hold its breath, pregnant with possibility, and the weight of ages-old promises fulfilled. Their preparation has been both arduous and transformative, each trial a mirror reflecting deeper truths about their place in the cosmic order. The fire of testing has purified their souls, stripping away the chaff of ego and fear until only the purest gold of purpose remains. Every sacrifice made, every comfort abandoned, every moment of doubt overcome has been a step closer to this sacred convergence. The spiritual mission before them transcends mere human understanding. It is the continuation of an eternal dialogue between heaven and earth, between the infinite and the finite. These chosen ones carry within their being the sacred responsibility to bridge worlds, to serve as conduits for divine grace flowing through mortal vessels. Their calling is not one of personal glory or earthly recognition, but of humble service to the greater good of all sentient beings. As they stand at the threshold of transformation, their bodies become temples of light, their minds expanded beyond the limitations of ordinary perception. The veil between the seen and unseen grows thin, allowing glimpses of the divine architecture that underlies all existence. In this sacred space, time becomes fluid, memory merges with prophecy, and the boundaries between past, present, and future dissolve into a single eternal moment. The final consecration demands everything, every ounce of their being, every fiber of their soul, every breath drawn from the infinite wellspring of divine love. They must offer themselves completely, not as objects to be consumed by divine fire, but as willing participants in a sacred dance of creation and redemption. This is not destruction, but rebirth, not loss, but gain, not death, but the beginning of something infinitely more magnificent than they could have imagined. Their hearts beat in perfect synchronization with the universal rhythm, each pulse carrying the prayers of countless souls who have walked the path before them. The weight of their mission settles upon their shoulders like a mantle of pure intention, yet it feels neither burdensome nor heavy, but rather like the gentle embrace of a loving parent. For they are not alone in this sacred work. They are part of an unbroken chain that stretches back through eternity and forward into the infinite possibilities of tomorrow. The spiritual fire that burns within them is both the source and the destination of their journey, illuminating the path ahead while simultaneously revealing the beauty of what has already been accomplished. In this moment of perfect alignment between human will and divine purpose, they understand that their truest calling is not to change the world, but to become the world's greatest expression of divine love made manifest. The morning light filtered through the ancient stained glass windows of the cathedral, casting kaleidoscopic patterns across the weathered stone floor where centuries of prayers had been offered. Sister Elena stood at the altar's edge, her hands trembling slightly as she held the sacred chalice, its silver surface reflecting the divine light that seemed to emanate from within the very heart of the building. The air hummed with an otherworldly energy, as if the entire structure was alive with anticipation, waiting for the moment when the chosen ones would be called forth to fulfill their eternal destiny. Her eyes closed and she felt the weight of centuries pressing upon her soul, the countless souls who had walked these same stones seeking redemption, finding peace, or perhaps, like herself, bearing the burden of a calling that transcended mortal understanding. The scent of incense filled her lungs, a mixture of frankincense and myrrh that transported her beyond the physical realm into the sacred space where heaven and earth met in perfect harmony. In the beginning was the Word. She whispered, her voice barely audible above the gentle rustling of the autumn leaves outside the cathedral windows. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The words were not merely spoken, but breathed into existence, each syllable carrying the power of creation itself. She could feel the vibrations resonating through her bones, connecting her to every human being who had ever sought the divine, every soul who had ever yearned for something greater than themselves. The chosen ones had been selected not by chance, but by divine providence, their destinies woven into the tapestry of eternity itself. Each one carried within them a spark of the sacred fire that had burned since the dawn of time, a flame that would only be fully ignited when they stood together in this sacred space, united by purpose and bound by sacrifice. Elena knew that today marked the culmination of their journey, the moment when their individual paths would converge into a single luminous thread that would guide humanity toward salvation. She opened her eyes to see the first of them approaching the young man, whose name was written in golden letters in the Book of Life, whose face bore the marks of a soul that had already suffered greatly for the sake of others. His footsteps echoed softly against the stone, each step a prayer in itself, a testament to the faith that had sustained him through trials that would have broken a lesser spirit. Behind him came the woman whose heart had been shattered by loss, yet somehow found new life in service to the divine, her tears having become the very foundation upon which the chosen ones would build their new world. The congregation gathered in reverence, their voices joining in a hymn that spoke of hope and renewal, of the promise that even in the darkest hour, light would prevail. Elena raised the chalice high above her head, feeling the warmth of the sacred vessel flow through her fingertips into the very core of her being. This was no ordinary cup. This was the vessel that would hold the consecrated wine that would transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, the mortal into the immortal. As the final notes of the hymn faded into the sacred silence, Elena felt the presence of the divine surrounding her like a protective embrace, confirming that the chosen ones were indeed the instruments through which the Almighty would work his greatest miracles. The mission ahead was not merely one of personal fulfillment, but of bearing witness to the resurrection of hope itself, of proving that even in a world consumed by darkness, the light of faith could never be extinguished. The sacred flame flickered against the obsidian altar, its amber glow casting dancing shadows across the weathered stones that had witnessed countless ceremonies through the centuries. Sister Margaret's fingers traced the ancient runes carved into the marble edge, each symbol pulsing with a subtle warmth that spoke of divine favor. The air thrummed with anticipation, thick with the incense of sanctity and the whispered prayers of those who had gathered in reverence. She closed her eyes, feeling the weight of destiny settle upon her shoulders like a mantle woven from starlight and sacrifice. This was no ordinary convergence of souls, but rather the culmination of a divine calling that had begun in the most unexpected of circumstances. The chosen ones, as they were known in the ancient texts, were not merely selected by chance or circumstance, but by an invisible thread that connected their hearts to the very fabric of God's plan for humanity's redemption. Each individual had been touched by the Almighty's hand in ways both visible and mysterious, their lives converging at this precise moment in time to fulfill a prophecy older than memory itself. The cathedral's stained glass windows blazed with colors that seemed to shift and dance as if responding to the spiritual energy building within the hallowed space. Through the crimson and gold panes, the light of dawn began to filter in, carrying with it the promise of new beginnings in the eternal cycle of death and rebirth that governed all things sacred. Sister Margaret felt her heart hammering against her ribs, not from fear, but from the overwhelming magnitude of what was about to unfold. She had been chosen to serve as the conduit through which the divine message would be delivered to a world that had grown weary of false prophets and hollow promises. The burden was both magnificent and terrifying, for she understood that she would be required to carry the full weight of truth itself upon her mortal shoulders. The other chosen ones stood in a semicircle around her, their faces illuminated by the sacred fire, each one bearing the unmistakable mark of being called to something greater than themselves. The ancient ritual that would soon begin was not merely a ceremony, but a resurrection of the soul itself. It was here in this consecrated space where heaven and earth met, that the veil between worlds would thin enough for the divine will to flow freely through human vessels. The preparations had taken months of prayer, fasting, and purification, each step carefully calculated to ensure that the spiritual infrastructure could withstand the power that would soon be unleashed. As the first rays of sunlight pierced through the cathedral's windows, Sister Margaret raised her hands toward the heavens, feeling the familiar tingle of spiritual connection that had guided her through every trial and tribulation. The chosen ones responded in unison, their voices rising in harmony with the ancient psalms that had been passed down through generations of faithful servants. The sound echoed through the stone corridors, reaching the very foundations of the sacred building, calling forth the dormant powers that lay buried beneath the earth itself. This was the moment when the veil would lift, when the prophetic vision would manifest in reality, when the chosen ones would finally understand the true nature of their calling and the extraordinary mission that awaited them beyond the threshold of the physical world. The spiritual journey that had brought them together was only the beginning of a much larger story, one that would echo through eternity and reshape the very essence of human understanding. The sacred flame burns eternal within the chambers of the heart, a luminary that has guided countless souls through the darkest valleys of existence. As we stand upon the precipice of this new month, the veil between the earthly realm and the divine grows thin, allowing glimpses of celestial truth to pierce through the mundane fabric of daily life. The chosen ones gather and reverence, their spirits attuned to frequencies that transcend ordinary human perception, each heartbeat a prayer, each breath a sacred offering to the Almighty. In this hallowed space where the physical and metaphysical converge, the ancient rituals speak not merely of ceremony, but of profound transformation. The consecration that awaits is not merely a rite of passage, but a fundamental reconfiguration of consciousness itself. Like wheat being refined through fire, the soul must undergo purification to become worthy of the divine gifts that have been ordained for those who walk the path of chosen purpose. The spiritual mission that now unfolds before us transcends individual fulfillment. It encompasses the very fabric of creation itself. Each chosen one carries within their essence a sacred mandate that resonates with the cosmic rhythm of divine will. The weight of this calling presses upon the spirit like the gentle but insistent pressure of morning light breaking through storm clouds, inevitable, transformative, and absolutely necessary for the unfolding of higher truths. As the sacred hour approaches, the atmosphere itself seems to shimmer with anticipation. The air thickens with spiritual energy, charged with the collective prayers and intentions of those who have prepared themselves through months of dedicated service. Every shadow cast by candlelight becomes a symbol of the inner illumination that must now be fully embraced. The altar before us stands as a testament to the intersection of human devotion and divine grace. Each element placed upon its surface speaks to the fundamental nature of our spiritual journey, the burning bush that never consumes the bread that nourishes the hungry, the wine that transforms the ordinary into the sacred. These symbols are not mere representations, but living manifestations of the eternal principles that govern the universe. The chosen ones must understand that their mission extends beyond personal enlightenment to encompass the healing of the world's deepest wounds. Like the great healers of old, they carry the responsibility of channeling divine mercy into the suffering hearts of humanity. This burden, though heavy, is also the source of their greatest strength, for it connects them directly to the infinite wellspring of compassion that flows from the heart of the divine. In this moment of preparation, the soul awakens to its true nature, a spark of the eternal fire that has been kindled within each chosen one since the dawn of time. The final consecration will reveal not just what they are meant to do, but who they are meant to become, a transformation so complete that even the angels themselves would recognize the profound change that has taken place in their being. The sacred flame burns eternal in the chambers of the heart, where the chosen ones gather beneath a celestial canopy of divine purpose. Each soul carries within them the weight of destiny, a burden that has been forged through countless trials and tribulations that have shaped their very essence into vessels of light. The month ahead whispers promises of transformation, of purification that shall strip away the veils of earthly attachment and reveal the true nature of their calling. In the hallowed halls where ancient wisdom flows like rivers of liquid gold, the chosen ones prepare themselves for the sacred rite that awaits them. Their spirits tremble with anticipation, not born of fear, but of profound reverence for the mysteries that unfold when mortal consciousness aligns with divine will. The preparation is not merely ritualistic. It is a complete surrender of self to the greater design that has orchestrated their existence from the moment of their first breath. The